What it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. This is gonna be the last episode in the full course, the how to mix pop. So we're gonna show how to master, a modern mainstream type of Afro beats, hip hop, pop type of song. So if you guys do like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. You want to support the channel, check the links and comment down below and tell me what you think. So let's get to it right now.
Time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. Don't keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. Don't keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. Go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more, I do my sauce, but I got those hoes. I'll go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more, I do my sauce, but I got those hoes.
So you guys got a general idea of what the song sounds like. When it comes to developing a mastering chain, some people call it, what's on your two bus or actual mastering. I feel like as long as at the end of the day, as long as the sound sounds like the end goal, it's very important when you're mixing in the very beginning, like a sculptor or a painter, that you already have like a definitive image in your head of what you want the finish line to look like, especially in life too. You kind of want to have an idea of, what your life is going to look like 20 years from now. And as you're going through ups and downs and shit in life, or even a fucking mix, you want to refer to that end goal, whether it's a big mansion and a fucking fast Hellcat, or it's a clean mix that sounds a certain way with a certain low end and a certain mid range. All right. So very first thing I have is I'm gonna bypass everything, even though I hate doing that. I'm gonna start with the first plugin that I use is the Fairchild, and of course we're gonna lose volume, bro. But yeah, it's gonna be the Fairchild, and I use the Fairchild. I use it so consistently because I love how it adds brightness because it has the tubes, and it also adds density because it has transformers.
Time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove.
Nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna do it like that. It's just the volume isn't there. All right, so let me just go bypass it.
Time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. Time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to. It's now or never. I don't wanna do this later. I'ma sign a song, I don't want the pressure. Just bring the chaser. 1, 2, 3 short shots. I got a slow whiny tender most. The time is now, let's have some fun. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove.
So you really hear it. It's more like for the saturation. It adds so much to the mid range. I use this plugin Ozone Stabilizer, and this is pretty much like using Golfos or Soothe. And yeah, it just kind of works out any of the small imperfections in the mix, because there is going to be some buildup between all the drums and a mid-range buildup and redundancies between the drums, which have mid-range, and the RMS of the main melody, which pretty much mean you got water on water. You got a bucket on a bucket. You feel me? And the shit kind of getting clogged up. All right, the drain's starting to get clogged up. So yeah.
Now or never. I don't wanna do this later. I'ma sign a song, I don't want the pressure. Just bring the chaser. 1, 2, 3 short shots. I got a slow whiny tender most. The time is now, let's have some fun. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you.
So it just so ever slightly cleans up the mix a little bit, and that's important when you're mastering. You don't want to like overly, process it, because if that's the point and you really don't like how the shit sound like, well, actually go in there and actually mix the thing. So make sure the mix sounds good first, and then you start adding the seasoning afterwards. You feel me? You don't just fucking take a raw piece of chicken And then, after you cook it, you throw on seasoning. Usually what people do is they get the chicken clean, then they put on the seasoning. You feel me? Like if you have a bad piece of meat or a expired burger meat and you cook it, there's no seasoning you could put on it to make it taste good. So no sweetening you can do on the master fader can make up for a bad nasty ass burger. You feel me? SSL bus compressor. When I use this shit, it's not to glue my mix, but because I understand the density region and I understand that this is gonna smooth off my top end, not overly bright is what I'm going for. Cause I already know I'm gonna hit it with a fresh air, later down the line. So I kind of want to start to smooth out the mix and make it round to the low end. So yeah, open attack, fully on 30. Let all my transients come through. This is Afro beats. My rhythm is very important. Too much of a fast attack will clamp onto my transients and kind of fuck up the bounce. Fastest release too, because the percussion is very fast. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I usually go from the fastest or the automatic, and the 4 ratio is good. This is a hard knee bus compressor that's gonna kind of like sharpen up our transients in general.
So take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more. I got you my sauce, but I got those hoes. So hide I can prove. Keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me. It's now or never. I don't wanna do this later. I'ma sign a song. I don't want the pressure. Just bring the chaser. 1, 2, 3 short shots. I got a slow wine, it and the most. The time is now, let's have some fun. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove.
So not necessarily using a bus compressor because I'm trying to glue my mix. I need my mix to be glued in the YouTuber setting, so I use a bus compressor. Like, nah, it's more like me understanding the density areas of these bus compressors, because this is doubling up on my transformer. This has a transformer right here too. And this has VCA components, which is helping the mid-range. So I understand, like, okay, I'm pretty much giving my song some Botox at this point. I'm trying to decide where I need to make it thicker at. And here specifically, I see it needs a lot of mid-range because this is like a very bouncy type of music. So I want my drums to have presence. I want my vocals to have presence, and my shakers and all that lies in the mid-range. You feel me? I don't want to have too much low end because my low end is kind of already slow, like a faucet. And that's kind of coming from my pad. So you also got to understand the arrangement, the tempo, how fast the music is coming around to know, okay, I'm going to use this shit. But as you can see, I'm definitely using it like ketchup and mustard for more like saturation, not necessarily because I want to compress my mix. The more you compress your mix, the smaller your mix is actually going to sound and the less stereo imaging you're going to have. So the shit going to sound like a narrow. Imagine that you try to get in the car where there's already 4 people in the back seat. You feel me? It's going to be tight and cramped. So that's what you're doing when you start to apply too much bus compression. You're going to lose stereo imaging too. Most importantly, I throw on an EQP1A to get more sub frequency, more sub energy. Because like I said, I did not have a bass on this song. I did not have a real bass or a real kick stem to play with. So towards the a certain part when I was applying this, and I put all this processing on at 80%, bruh. That's when I slapped this mother on.
The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. Don't keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. Don't keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. So go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more. I got you my sauce, but I got those hoes. I'll go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more. I got you my sauce, but I got those hoes.
Very important to kind of put it after the bus compression because like for sure I have been squeezing my low end a little bit and I have been putting a lot of emphasis on the specific just the mid range. So yeah, this is like upper mid range. So I'm just making sure my mix just sounds like straight and not fucked up and not too heavy on one part. You feel me? Like a basketball team, I want to make sure that everybody on the team is equally good. My mid range, my low end, my top end is everybody's equally good and not top heavy. You feel me? As in like, oh, I only got a couple of good players, which is my top end sounds really good. Oh, my low end sounds really good. You feel me? And that should be enough to make it a good song. That should be enough basketball players to make it a good team. Nah, bruh. You feel me? I gotta make sure that everybody on the team, which is low end, low mid, mid range, is all kind of like even. You feel me? And that's also gonna make the limiters work easier too. You know, so yeah, JC Joshua God Particle. And most importantly, I used it for the limiter. I like how this limiter has some transient enhancement type of going on. So pretty much transients is like that first clap, the first spike of energy. And you know, I wanted to make it a little bit sharper. So I like this too, this you know, McDonald's Chick-fil-A sauce. Uh I like this a lot. I like what the density it gives, the thickness, you know.
Don't keep me waiting, I'm levitating, blame it, close, take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more, I got too much sauce, but I got those hoes. I'll go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa close, take it slow. Ukitaka now or never. I don't wanna do this later. I'm a sign a song that don't want the pressure. Just bring the chaser. 1, 2, 3 short shots. I got a slow wine, it and the most. The time is now, let's have some fun. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide.
Very important. This saturation that is giving me is very critical for me, just due to the fact that like low level details starting to come out. Now you start to hear the full, you know, full sustain of the Rhodes, the Rhodes piano or whatever. You start to hear the full length of the bass. It also makes the whole song a more emotionally engaging because now you have this fullness, this plushness. Imagine this shit is like a carpet. You know, you got sometimes you got a regular ass carpet that's just a standard rough ass carpet, but then you got a plush carpet. And because this plush carpet feels really soft and really full, it makes you want to touch it. It makes you want to, you know, give yourself up to it. So I imagine the song to be like that. You feel me? Like this is bringing in that plush carpet that just feels good in your hands. It feels fucking cozy. It makes you want to wrap your soul around the song type shit. All right. Fresh air. This is very important because I mean, this is going to give me some brightness on my vocal, some brightness to my drums, just make everything just more sparkly.
The time is now, let's have some fun. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. Don't keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. Keep me waiting, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. So go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more, I got too much sauce, but I got those hoes. I'll go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa more, I got too much sauce, but I got those hoes.
So now you start to hear like there's more presence to the drums and the vocal. And also because this is a saturator, it also makes the reverb more audible. Let's listen to this part right here.
So go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa.
You can hear the hair on the reverb better.
So go down low, so take it slow. Ukitaka nitakupa. So go down low, so take it slow.
That's very important because sometimes, you know, as an amateur mixer, what you'll do is that you might be like, oh, I don't hear the reverb. Let me apply more. Or maybe all you gotta do is apply a saturator to your master fader, so there's more harmonic density there. There's more like, you know, more flavor there. Now it becomes more audible. Um, Imagine it's kind of like a thief that's leaving behind fingerprints. That's what the saturation is doing. You know, when the FBI motherfuckers, forensic niggas come in there and they dust that shit up, and they can see a fingerprint. This is what this kind of does. It leaves that trail behind so you can see what the fuck going on. You could even put a saturator like fresh air on your all effects, just send your reverb, send your delay to all effects and just put on a fresh air too, just very delicate, and it will make it more audible, you know? I use this for a widener. My mix is already relatively wide though. I call it the widest boundary theory. I pick the widest thing in the mix and I make it wide. You feel me? And usually that's already enough. Like I don't have to use a widener because sometimes you use a widener and you will, lose solidity because you stretching that motherfucker out. When you stretch out a shirt, it's not as tight as it is when you're not stretching it out. So the same thing applies to music.
The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove.
Another tip, sometimes what you could do is just, if you don't want to go too far with the boosting on the EQ, just put a Ozone Imager, specifically a multi-band widener, and widen out your top end a little bit. You feel me? So that's another trick too that I've been doing a lot lately. Even on my vocals, I'm starting to do less and less boosting EQ in the top, and then I do just a little bit to open that motherfucker up, and then I use an imager after on the top end and just ever so slightly, open it. So I use the Ozone Maximizer, and yeah, I barely used it. Just the final maximizer and a little bit of transient enhancement. And this is just making sure that after all that limiting and shit that we did and all that boosting, that our drums still feel good.
The time goes, take it slow. Time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. Don't keep me waiting. I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. Don't keep me waiting. I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it.
Yeah, so you got to be very smart about that type of stuff, because if I was to like over limit this, because in general, I think I've only done it like 2 dBs. Yeah, like a dB here and a dB over there, but the more and the more you limit it, you're gonna lose that bounce. All right, and of course, metric AB, you got to compare your rough mix to the what you got in the end.
Time is on. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. Don't keep me waiting. I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. Don't keep me waiting. I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it. It's now and now. I don't wanna do this later. I'm a sign a song. God, the one that I want the pressure. Just bring the chaser. 1, 2, 3 short shots. I gotta slow wine it and the most. The time is to have some fun. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. The time is now. You've been lost, but I found you. There's nothing to hide, I can prove. Don't keep it, I'm levitating. Blame it on me, I will take it.
Yeah, so it's important to go back and forth between the rough mix and your mix that you got now. So this is pretty much the end of the course in general. So next week we're gonna do another one. And I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. I got more courses like this on my website. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Cop a vocal preset, master, book a mix, whatever. I just want to say thanks a lot, my YouTube gang. I hope I was able to help you guys out. Appreciate it. Peace.